world's youngest major religion. A fusion of science and spirituality. And this is where it happens. In this episode, we'll take you inside the Church of Scientology. We'll show you the spaces, the services, and the spiritual technology that define it, as told by the people who live it. You'll see how the church fulfills its purpose to uplift the community and the world. This is a look inside a Church of Scientology.
I have always wanted to help people since I was little. I have seen personally thousands of people who have walked through our doors, and I see the change that happens in their life.
I remember being maybe 4 years old, thinking, why am I here? What's going on? What is this? What is this about? I couldn't believe that you could go to one place that would give you the answers that you needed.
When I first got introduced to Scientology, one of the staff members showed me a quote, which is, what is true for you. And that resonated within me because that was a completely new concept.
It's not about being told what is true, it's discovering that truth for yourself.
So here, people are 100% on the purpose for helping people, for helping the world.
And that's something that I think is part and parcel to the spirit of Scientology.
It's just a nonstop help. One person that you help turns into 3 people, turns into 10, turns into a whole city.
We have churches of Scientology all over the world, in South America.
So there's churches in Johannesburg, Sydney, Tokyo,
all over Europe, and then all over the US. And our US headquarters is in Los Angeles.
My name is Izzy Galunas, and I work at the Church of Scientology, Los Angeles. I see a lot of this, where they put their hands over their eyes and look inside the window, and they're like, what is this? Can I walk around? Is it free? I just want to look. Oh, well, what brought you in here? Just curious.
On every given week, there's about 2,000 people who will come through our doors.
Literally all kinds of people from all different walks of life.
From young to old, musicians, all sorts of artists, businessmen, college students, newlyweds, lots of families, tons of families.
Once you actually start talking to somebody about it, they're like, okay, what is Scientology?
They don't even realize that what they stepped into is also an information center.
When you walk into a Church of Scientology, one of the first things that you can expect to see is all of our public information displays. It's got over 700 videos, and it's a self-guided tour. The person can walk through at their own leisure, literally spend as much time as they want. That's all been designed to answer every single one of those questions that anybody might have. Do we believe in God? What is a Thetan? What is Dianetics? What is clear? What is this spiritual counseling I always hear about?
But there's actually a little display panel that you use arrows, and you just hit play.
And your video is going to come up on the screen, and it's going to tell you what is Scientology. It's got 18 different languages in it. So let's say you wanted to change your language. For instance, we wanted to go to Italian. Here we go.
I once had a guy who came in early in the morning, and he watched the entire display. He left around maybe 10 p.m., and he kept coming back every single day to watch a new display, just to learn.
And in Los Angeles, we also have an information center right on Hollywood Boulevard. People come to Los Angeles from all over. It's right on the Walk of Fame. And we get people from over 50 countries.
We have people from China, from Malaysia, from Dubai, from Canada, and South America, at these various places from all over the world.
And we're here so that anyone and everyone can come in and find out what Scientology is for themselves. But the whole concept is to learn what is Scientology through the books of Scientology.
One of the amazing things in Scientology is that we actually have all of the original writings of its founder, L. Ron Hubbard.
It's the scripture of Dianetics and Scientology, and those books are available for people to read and gain more knowledge, and it gives you an understanding of what we do. It gives you an understanding of who you are. You have Dianetics, Modern Science and Mental Health, Problems of Work, New Slant on Life.
And we have all of our books in 50 languages.
L. Ron Hubbard's books are really incredible. They cover so many different parts of life.
And so as you go through each of these books, I mean, just areas of your life open up. I understand myself so much better. I understand people and others more than I ever thought that I could.
The one thing that's unique to Scientology is that Mr. Hubbard recorded lectures describing his research and discoveries and what he wrote about in the books.
You really get to hear his voice, and it's such a personal connection, so it's really just direct from him to you.
I'd like to tell you something of the story of Dianetics and Scientology. Some things I've never confided to anyone before. Would you like to hear that?
Scientology is a new religion. It's kind of like this modern fusion of, old and new. We have everything that any other church would have. We deliver Sunday service. We deliver marriages, naming ceremonies. We have ministers that deliver sermons and services. But a Scientology church is very personal. It's all geared towards the purpose of really helping that person achieve their goals in life. And that's where the modernness comes in. It's not a matter of just like reading and teachings, but it's like, how do you utilize it?
Welcome to the Dianetics Seminar.
The Dianetics Seminar is a 2-day seminar. It's all day Saturday and all day Sunday, but you actually learn the technique of Dianetics.
L. Ron Hubbard discovered that we all have a reactive mind, which is the unknown part of the mind. It is a source of unreasonable fears, anxieties, upsets, and psychosomatic illnesses. In Dianetics, you can get rid of it.
In the seminar, you are personally improving yourself, but then you're also helping another person to improve their life.
And so in Dianetics, the technology is so precise. You close your eyes, and when you close your eyes, you're literally like on this journey. I went back far back, like you're there, and you're not thinking about anything else. And when the session is over and they snap their fingers, it's like, you never forget that experience. I'm a 2-time pro athlete, and I've never breathed properly. But when I was doing Dianetics, I realized I can breathe again. I can breathe again. I asked that day, I was like, can I do this again?
The Personal Efficiency course is a 2.5-hour seminar, and we deliver this every day of the week. This is a service that anyone can do. You learn how you improve your relationships with others. You learn how to handle exhaustion. It covers basic fundamental tools that improve any aspect of life. There was a couple who came in, they were on their honeymoon, and they both had things in their life that they really wanted to improve. So they signed up to do the Personal Efficiency course here at the church, and afterwards, they came out totally different people. They were so happy, and they felt like they actually had tools that they could then go home and use in their relationship, but also in their own personal life. And they both are successful people, but now they actually feel like they can make their life what they want it to be.
So the way I would describe a Scientology course is like a very personal experience where you're learning about basic fundamentals on which life is based to bring about a much better state.
Scientology is a very practical religion. There are courses on every aspect of life, you know, from raising children, whether it's a brand new baby or a teenager.
Motivation, self-esteem.
There's courses on being a leader.
You find what it is you want to handle, right? What do I most want to handle? And everybody has their own story.
My name is Will. I co-own a creative agency. I asked a lot of questions early on, big picture questions. Why are we here? How does all this work? How can I be better? How can I be a better husband or son or father? And the introductory courses were this really great way to get into it. In a few afternoons, I was able to get through a course, and it was like this master class directly focused on that one issue that I just wanted to be better at. It gave me the tools that have allowed me to be the best dad that I know how to be, and I'm proud of that.
In Scientology, we are here to help make the able more able. Any problem that a person comes in here with, whether it is your family life or your own personal goals that you're working on, whatever it may be, there is a tool in Scientology that can help a person to overcome those things.
I've been married for about 3 years. And about a year ago, it wasn't going well. I loved my husband, so it wasn't that. And I knew that. And he loved me, so it definitely wasn't the problem. The problem was we could not communicate about anything. And the marriage was wearing away. So we went to Scientology for help. And with basic courses on the subject of marriage, we took the broken pieces, put them back together, and made it unshakable. My husband means the world to me. And the concept that I would have lost him without those basic tools is so powerful to me, because relationships and family is the most important thing. And Scientology repairs them. It saves lives. It saved my marriage.
Up next, how the church applies 21st century technology to spirituality.
Scientology Network presents L. Ron Hubbard in his own voice, an exclusive 3-part documentary series. He captivated an audience with his extraordinary knowledge of the mind and changed the lives of millions worldwide. Now, for the first time in this unforgettable series, hear the stories from the man that founded the world's youngest major religion. Don't miss L. Ron Hubbard in his own voice. Whether it's about enhancing your relationships at work or with family, Scientology Life Improvement courses offer proven tools that help in every aspect of life. With 20 courses to choose from, you'll gain tools that you can use immediately. Discover how Scientology can help you improve your life. Go to Scientology.tv/improve.
To know life, you have to understand life. Affinity. Reality. Communication. These are the components of understanding. To know them is to know life itself.
We live in a world these days full of chemicals and toxins and pesticides and, you know, over-the-counter medications, all of these things that we've all been exposed to in our life. And these things have an effect on your mental clarity and your ability to see and make decisions. And they can prevent your spiritual development and enhancement.
So imagine clearing all of that out of your body and unlocking this mental mass or this cloud in front of your ability to perceive and see, and then try to achieve your goals. It's a lot different.
The purification program basically consists of vitamins, running, and a detox in a sauna. And you are literally sweating out those drugs and toxins that are lodged in your body that have been there for a long time. But after you do that, you can really see things from a different perspective.
I was raised on the streets of Los Angeles where, unfortunately, drug abuse runs rampant. I started to realize that I was living my life in a fog. I was surrounded by a haze. That was when I told myself that something needs to change. Once I was able to get rid of all of the toxins in my life from all the drugs that I had put in my body over the past years, then it kind of opened up my eyes to a whole new world. And ultimately, that put me back in control. There was a moment where I was in the sauna and, I was using the rag to wipe my face, and I had noticed that the rag had smelled like marijuana. I hadn't put any marijuana into my system in well over 3 years. That was when I started to notice how intense and how important the purification rundown is. And upon finishing the purification, it felt like I had literally walked out of a cloud, like I was walking through a storm, and I was free. In all aspects of the word, I was free. The things that I do with my son today, the joy that I get just from being present, it's a lot more gratifying than any drug on this planet could ever compare to.
One of the most amazing things I've ever done was definitely receive auditing at the church.
Auditing is Scientology's spiritual counseling. People try to ask how it is in comparison to other mental philosophies, and it doesn't compare. It's very unique. It's not like therapy. It's the very exact procedure that addresses specific areas of emotional and spiritual ruin with the precise path of increased awareness and abilities, which ultimately brings a person to higher states of existence and true personal freedom. That's the spiritual technology, and it's called spiritual technology because you're applying that technology to somebody as a spiritual being.
Everyone at some point knows that they're capable of more, or they know that they used to be capable of more. Well, it didn't go anywhere, it's still there. At every step of the way, you're learning more about yourself and unlocking your full capabilities.
You actually see that person change quite dramatically because you're directly helping somebody be more able.
There were definitely periods in my life, or definitely times when something would happen and I'd be like, why did I do that? Or why am I reacting this way? Why am I so emotional about this thing that really isn't that big of a deal? And then through auditing, I kind of was stripping away all of these other things that made me react a certain way that wasn't really myself. All the negative things going on in my mind just stopped. Literally tears were just coming out of my eyes. Like I couldn't stop. I was like, what's happening? I was so happy. From that point on, life was simple, I can decide what I want to do with my life and then pursue that.
What I would say to people is that Scientology is a technology, the way that building a bridge is technology.
So what this is called an e-meter. So the way this works is that the e-meter is passing a really small current through this cable and into these electrodes, and it goes from the person to the e-meter again, and what that does is create a closed electrical circuit. You don't even feel it.
All mental pictures are actually composed of mental energy, and there is an actual electrical energy connected to those pictures. So when the auditor asks precisely worded questions, it disrupts the electrical current, so that then registers on the e-meter.
I mean, think about it. If you knew the source of all of your troubles, would you have problems? No, we would probably be able to get rid of them pretty easily, but the e-meter helps pinpoint that.
You can actually go into any church and someone can show you how it works exactly.
There you go. That's so cool.
It's not just people coming to receive auditing, it's people actually coming to get trained as auditors, because once they receive it, they're like, I want to do this for other people.
You really get a good understanding of what it is, what it does, how it works. Any questions get answered.
As an auditor, I have the tools to help someone very effectively and change their lives, help their family, completely change their condition in life. I had a guy, able person, good guy, but he just didn't have a job, and he was really apathetic, really down in the dumps. And we did a certain type of auditing with him, and flash forward a few months, and he's now got this great job. He looked about 5 or 10 years younger after doing that program. So you see these sort of miraculous changes, you almost just expect to have a miracle happen with every person that you help. It's really like that.
Up next, from the California wildfires to the global drug epidemic, the church's volunteers bring effective humanitarian aid.
Once you actually start talking to somebody about it, they're like, okay, what is Scientology?
An exclusive documentary series taking you behind the scenes of the world of Scientology.
It's not about being told what is true, it's discovering that truth for yourself.
Don't miss Inside Scientology, Mondays at 8 on Get to know yourself by taking a free personality test. In less than an hour, you can get a true picture of you. Discover your weaknesses and strengths, and get accurate results and practical recommendations tailored toward your needs, which will start you on the path to a happier future. Take the test now. Go to Scientology.
To know life, you have to know yourself. Spirit, mind, body. These are the parts of man. To know them is to know life itself.
People have problems in the world. I think everyone has problems in the world.
You can look around and see that people need help.
People just think, well, that's the way it is. No, it doesn't have to be like that. There are tools and resources that can facilitate creating a world where that just doesn't happen.
The church sponsors many different international humanitarian programs, such as giving people the truth about drugs, uplifting moral values in the society, educating people about human rights, and fighting to stop abuse in the field of mental health, as well as volunteer ministers to respond to any need, large or small.
We have tens of thousands of volunteers that work with us on our different campaigns.
Foundation for a Drug-Free World is the largest non-governmental drug education and prevention program in the world. The most rewarding thing really is when the kids say things like, I had no idea, or I will never do it again. Really, I feel like our purpose as Scientologists is to better the lives of people around us.
Recently, we got out 1.8 million booklets into the community in Southern California as part of an education campaign on the dangers of the 3 most abused substances.
The whole point of all of these social betterment campaigns and groups is to just create a better Los Angeles, to create a better city wherever you are.
The Los Angeles Police Department has always had a strong relationship with the church in its social improvement campaigns. Anytime we can put in front of someone educational material that betters them as a person and can steer them in a course of direction in their life that is for positive reasons as opposed to a negative, I will argue that that was always influential in lowering the crime rate. So I don't think it's by happenstance that in the last 11 years, the crime rate in Los Angeles really plummeted.
One of the campaigns the church sponsors is called United for Human Rights. The campaign basically is about educating people about the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights.
The more I got involved with the work that the church is doing, started to understand just how much the church works with other nonprofits and groups out in communities literally all over the world.
One thing that we do as a church is we definitely open up our services to other groups, to other religions. So definitely interfaith. You know, you have all walks of life.
What has brought me into collaboration, and my church into collaboration with the Church of Scientology, is that when you can see an organization that is reaching out to any organization or any group or any person that's trying to do something to empower their community, the Church of Scientology is doing that. And I would call it the church with no walls. You do the work. I think that's what it's all about, because I feel real comfortable coming here. And I was asked today, are you here for a class? I said, no, I'm here to testify what good work comes from these classes.
6:30, we're following breaking news out of Tahunga, where a fire in Latuna Canyon is ripping through very thick brush.
Tonight there's a fire going on. It's covering 500 acres right now. There's barely 10% that's under control.
What I saw, especially with the yellow t-shirts, was that firefighters came back and quickly recognized that the best place to get the type of support they needed was the folks wearing the yellow shirts. It was the group that brought them great support, supplies, generosity, kindness.
When they go anywhere in the world, whether it is far or near to their local Scientology church, they will go and help people put back together their lives.
So that's what happens in the Church of Scientology, is you actually make a difference. It's not just talking about it, it's action. It's just a nonstop help. It's a whole cycle of action to help. It's actually making a difference in the world. That's what it's all about.
For me, Scientology is a technology of life and how to live life and how to succeed in life.
Everyone has a goal. Everyone is trying to attain something.
That's kind of the beauty of Scientology. Anyone can take the tools and actually use them and apply them in their life. We can help people to start smiling and start laughing and actually having that true joy and happiness in their life.
You know, my son was asking me, are those your friends, Daddy? Are those your friends? And I would explain to him, yes, those are my true friends that you just met right there.
I often invite friends to come and meet me at the church. And I will be like, come on, grab a coffee. Let's just go walk around the church.
It's very open. Like, our windows are as big as the building. It's got a big welcome sign. You know, we welcome all.
You know, life is for living.
You can feel this energy and spirit.
We were part of a better tomorrow.
The purpose is to inspire.
To know life, you have to know the parts of life. These are the dynamics of existence. To know them is to know life itself.